So I'm Tasha Layton, and this is my husband, Keith.
Hey there.
And we just wanted to share a story from our personal lives with you. When we got married, we had known for quite some time that Keith couldn't have children, and so we had talked about adoption, and we talked about in vitro and a lot of different options. And I think Keith had in his mind, what would it say about God if he couldn't, and what would it say about me if he wouldn't let me be a father? And so one day I was praying, and I felt like the Lord had told me that it would be a sign to him that we would have a baby, but I was scared to tell him. And because I knew that he had wrestled with this for so long. And so I eventually did tell you.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel about that?
It was really hard. I'd known for so long that pregnancy was going to be a difficult thing for me, that when she began to hope for me, it was a very painful thing. This was my reality, that I'm not going to be a father, And so when Tasha comes and says, hey, I believe we're going to have a baby, I wrestled with the Lord about that quite a lot. And so, we started working on that.
So then we went to Watoto in Uganda, and Keith's back is probably what doctors had said, caused the infertility, a back injury he had had. And because we had traveled so long to Uganda and sleeping on the cots and stuff, his back had been hurting.
My back just hurt like crazy, And so we were in the middle of this worship service, and it could have looked very spiritual. I was on my knees because my back hurt so bad. I was on my knees. But while I was there, I just heard from the Lord just to give me an offering. And so I'm a trumpet player, and I was playing my trumpet. I put my trumpet in front of me, just began to pray. Wasn't praying for healing, was just giving my offering to the Lord.
We were leading that song, Miracles. I believe in you.
Yeah.
And I look over, and Keith is crying on the ground, and he came up to me and he said,
my back had instantly stopped hurting, and so I started to wrench it around, trying to get it to hurt again, kind of testing it, and I could not get my back to hurt. It was the craziest thing. And so I stood up, and I went to her, and I said, Tasha, I think God just healed my back.
So I said, tell everybody. I think you should share that testimony. And as he did, people all over the place, there were visible healings that were occurring. And they prayed for us that night that we'd be able to have a baby. And we were pregnant 2 months later.
We got pregnant 2 months later. And so
I just wanted to share that with you because, number one, we serve a miraculous God.
Yeah.
And number two, you never know what's right around the corner. You never know how God's plan is protecting you and directing you in ways that you can't see. And so I think with timing and the way that it all happened, it was just right. And, after years of kind of heartache, the fulfillment came. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that.